I'm Jeff Fitzgerald here with my good friend Todd Moore from TMSoft, who's got a whole lot of nothing going on from what it sounds like talking to you. New book coming out. Tell me about this.
It's called Tap, Move, Shake. It's being published by O'Reilly, and it's coming out hopefully in time for Christmas. And it's all about how to take your app idea, your game idea, and bring it to the App Store. And so we cover everything from the very beginnings of how do you create a simple interactive game, like a quiz type game, to recreating Pong in 20 lines of code, all the way up to a full-fledged game of air hockey. And then I even go into some of the marketing strategies that you can use once you have the app finished, and now you want to get people, involved in downloading, engaged. Yes.
And so this is a book primarily for developers, but it does have some marketing and some inside tips and tricks. I mean, some of your apps have been in the iTunes top 10, and I mean, so obviously there's good information there to glean.
Right. I tried to appeal to a wide audience, if you will. So you're going to learn not only how to program, but you're also going to learn some of the other things that you need in order to have a successful app, and that includes creating graphics and recording and creating sounds. So, there's a whole chapter on how you can record your own sounds. There's one on how you can use Adobe products to help you with your graphics, and then how to take advantage of things like the Retina display on the new iPhones.
Now, I know that when we see each other and we talk about what's been going on in your life, there's always these really cool things. I hear now you're doing a podcast.
It was featured by Apple, and that's always a great thing when you can get an app or a podcast or anything, a book hopefully, featured by iTunes, and it's a way that you get that pat on the back from Apple, and it makes you feel like you're doing something right.
Well, that's obviously something that people are interested in and obviously are listening to. Tell me about the content of that, basically digital tech, media?
Yeah, so the show's called Tech 411, and it's basically a 30-minute weekly podcast, and we talk all things tech. We focus on mobile, and we focus a lot on the iPhone because my co-host Oscar Santana, we both have iPhones, and one of our most popular segments is we do our app of the week. And it's been very popular. And
you're not doing anything like attack the Android user or anything like that on there, right?
No. We actually try to cover Android. We try to, be unbiased, even though we talk probably too much about Apple. But we like to cover the whole spectrum.
With this book, I understand that you've got a really famous name doing your foreword. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I'm actually friends with Gina Smith, who wrote Steve Wozniak's book. And I was able to contact Wozniak and he's going to write the foreword. And I think it's great because in the book I talk about how you can create the game of Pong and just how to just minimize the set of code and keep it tight, efficient. And we got it down to 20 lines of code. And then I knew from Wozniak's book, he talked about he created a game of Pong using hardwired chips, and he did it in 26 chips, which was amazing at the time that you could build a game like that. So when I mentioned it to him, I think that's what kind of appealed to him, and Woz is he was always about doing more with less and using the fewest chips. So I think he totally appreciated that philosophy of, hey, you can do more without having to write so much code, and that's what we kind of illustrated in the book.
I think that's a great point that needs to be reiterated. I mean, obviously, with so many more people now learning how to do everything from client side to server side and everything in between, frameworks, there's code bloat everywhere. So it sounds like it's a good reminder for everyone to think about what you're putting out there, especially in the mobile space where it's critical.
Yeah, it's critical in the mobile space because it is a mobile device, and sometimes we think of it like a PC or a computer. Right. It's not as powerful as that, and that's why it's better to write more efficient code. And I think that's a good lesson for everybody.
Well, Todd, it's always good to see you, and I know we're going to be hearing some great things from TMSoft here in the future.